Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game So here's an interesting and ultimately disappointing episode for you guys this evening, because earlier today, maybe about an hour and a half ago, Analogue announced that they were delaying the Analogue 3D one more time. We went from a spring delivery to a July delivery now till the end of August, and honestly with Analogue that really isn't all that surprising. I don't think they've ever shipped a piece of hardware on time. I'm not trying to drag the company, obviously I've done reviews of Analogue Pockets as well as all of the diverse cores and hardware for that, but it's one of those things, people are getting excited to play their Analogue 3D by the end of July, and unfortunately that seems to be completely slipping by. And it's interesting, they're basically blaming tariffs for the entire situation, because if you go to the splash page right now, July has been crossed out and August 2025 is the new target date for Analogue 3D. So if you're looking forward to playing this thing at the end of the month, if you had it on pre-order, you probably have an email in your inbox right now the same way I did, saying that it has been delayed till the end of August. And honestly, it's one of those things, again, not surprising whatsoever, but it seems a little bit risky as to why they're delaying it. I'll definitely get into that a little bit later in the video, but they've been hyping this thing up for the longest time, and so many people have been asking me, are there any videos showing the Analogue 3D running? Are there any photos of it actually running games? And at this point in time, we still have the same set of media we had when this thing was announced. We have some photographs, they could be renders, really hard to say from the actual assets on offer on their website, but no, there are no videos of the Analogue 3D running. There is no photographic evidence of it actually running the games. Now don't think I'm saying it's not doing that whatsoever. Analogue has a very long track record of delivering really quality products to the market, so I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to say that this thing doesn't actually run games. I'm just saying that when you ask me if you guys have missed trailers or other samples or demos of the hardware actually doing anything, you have not. The same amount of content you have seen on their website is all I've seen of Analogue 3D as well, and they talk about in the email showing off demos at the end of August as well, so it's going to be at least another month and a half, it seems like, until you actually get to see this thing in action. And don't worry, as soon as mine gets delivered to me, I will do a full review and teardown of it, and I'll compare it against MiSTer FPGA, because obviously a Nintendo 64 FPGA core that runs games is something we've had for a long time now. But if we take a look at the actual email here, you're going to see that they say that it is because of sudden tariff changes. And honestly, if you delay it for that, what's to say that in August the tariffs don't even get worse? Because what it seems like is that Analogue actually has these things somewhere overseas, and they're waiting to see if the tariffs go down or otherwise don't go up before they actually import them, because those tariffs don't get applied until the actual importation process. But that is a very risky gambit to run, because next month if those tariffs go up to 80% or even 100% because the government gets mad about something, then all of a sudden this thing could be delayed indefinitely. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to be happening here, I'm just saying that that is a potential. And as far as when they talk about reviews in the email, no, I have not been offered a review unit from Analogue. I purchased it so I could review it on the channel. Am I slightly surprised that I'm not getting offered a unit to review before the thing actually goes live for sale? A little bit, because I am a big FPGA channel, but honestly I didn't ask. People come to me with offers on stuff, so it's one of those things. If you're expecting an early review of Analogue 3D from me and the channel, it's definitely not coming unless someone from Analogue gets in contact with me and basically tells me they want me to do it. But this is what we saw with the Switch 2 launch as well being delayed. Because tariffs are variable and you're never quite sure from week to week what the government might decide, I'm sure it's one of those situations where they're really not quite sure when they should actually bring these things overseas and actually import them into the US or other countries that they would be shipping to. Because I'm sure Analogue's biggest market is probably going to be North America, USA specifically, where all of those tariffs are going to be affecting them. At least they are saying that they're eating the cost, but who knows, if this thing goes from 40% to 80%, I wouldn't have any idea what profit margin would be left for the sale of Analogue 3D, or even if they might be taking a loss on the console. Again, I'm not trying to fearmonger here, I'm just trying to say that with tariffs constantly changing, what the situation could be in August could be completely different than what we have right now, and it could be a lot worse, a lot better, or basically par. Really no one can say whatsoever what's going on. All I really know for certain is these things are definitely made in an Asian country that has had tariffs applied to it, and when they hit a port of entry in the United States, those tariffs would have to be paid before they could be shipped to end users. Leave me a comment down below and you tell me, what country are you watching this from? I know my statistics say my largest audience is obviously in the United States, but I'm curious if this actually applies to you, because Analogue has said these things are delayed because of tariffs to the end of August, but obviously the United States is the one leading the tariff charge. There's plenty of countries that don't have any tariffs involved whatsoever, so it seems like they have to get them all to the US before they can ship them to any other country, because obviously if you live in Canada, not as big of a deal. but that's something that Analogue knows, and I have no idea about how their shipping method actually works. And before you leave that comment down below saying I'm not quite sure what I'm talking about, I dealt for many years outside of working at Burton as the international team and brand manager, and a lot of the importation of our goggles, sunglasses, and protection gear as a side job that I did there, kind of in conjunction with my regular day-to-day stuff. So I would deal with all of the importation paperwork, getting things through customs, being able to ship them from where they were manufactured, sea containered, over to a port of entry in the US, and then to our central distribution warehouse where they would go to the end customer if they ordered online or if they went to stores for some of our retailers. So I actually really have a very comprehensive knowledge base about the importation of goods from overseas, what tariffs could be applied and how you would pay them and how you deal with all of that. And I get it, this is a bad spot for Analogue to be in because depending on when you're bringing something into the country, you never know what the cost is going to be, but they have to realize there is competition because Mod Retro has been teasing, as well as Palmer Lucky, a N64 FPGA console. We haven't heard anything about it other than that tease, but there are other manufacturers out there trying to get to the same goal, and while it seems like Analogue will ship first, definitely, because they have a little bit more of a head start, we still have stuff like MiSTer FPGA, and obviously the controller from 8-Bit Do, that was delayed on Amazon as well. I received an email saying that that was targeting a different ship date, and it is just all unfortunate because I know for a lot of you this is going to be your first FPGA console for Nintendo 64, maybe even your first FPGA console ever. Tell me down below, do you have a MiSTer FPGA, do you have other Analogue products, or do you have nothing? I'd really be curious to see who the target audience for this is, because it's one of those things. If you have MiSTer FPGA, then we've had a Nintendo 64 core, including the Turbo core, for over a year now, and it plays every single retail game, North American, PAL, and Japanese, as well as a ton of mod hacks and fan games as well. So it's not like we've been starved for N64 FPGA goodness, but of course, obviously Analogue has that industrial design of a console, and you're going to be able to put your original cartridges in, one thing that can't be done on the MiSTer FPGA side of things. But it isn't like it's reinventing the wheel, it's making its own core and hardware, but N64 and FPGA, something you can play today if you are on the MiSTer FPGA side of things, and it's been an absolute blast to see this thing go from the original core like 18 months ago where it barely did anything to being completely finished now, and that is just absolutely wild to see. But I get why people want to use the original cartridges. Analogue's always been making these FPGA reproduction consoles for years now, giving you the ability to play your games, your original media in FPGA. Some have definitely been more successful than others. I would say the Duo was a little bit of a rough launch for them, but obviously with Nintendo 64, hopefully everything is done and dusted, buttoned up, and ready to go. But again, you're not going to be getting your Analogue 3D in July. You're going to be getting it at the end of August, and that's if the tariffs don't change whatsoever. That's not what Analogue's saying. I'm just saying if the tariffs go up even more, I'm sure you're going to end up in a situation where they are quite delayed. But there's definitely a lot of other options on the market if you want to pick something up now, and I've done a ton of reviews, and it is one of those things. Maybe you should go and email Analogue and say, hey, let Video Game Esoterica review a unit before it actually comes out. They can keep my money. I'm not looking for anything free, but I know you guys are waiting for a lot of channels, myself included, to tell you how this thing actually does. But that's the thing, the pre-orders are closed, so if you already have an order on it, whatever I say about the product, whether it's amazing or somewhere in between bad and good, it's going to still be your product. Sure, you can resell it. There's definitely going to be a lot of scalper market out there, unfortunately, as there are with basically all Analogue consoles, but reviews really aren't going to technically matter because if you already ordered the thing, you're going to be getting it, and if you didn't order it yet, you don't have any option to order because pre-orders are closed. I'm sure if the unit actually does well for Analogue, there will be a second, maybe even third round of consoles. They never said that it was a one and done sort of ordering situation, but I also can't guarantee that. So if you didn't get in on a pre-order, maybe you'll never get an Analogue 3D unless you go to the secondary market, go to the scalpers, and I really hope nobody here does that because it actually should be discouraged that people go out there and kind of ruin fun based upon trying to make some money off of it. But who knows, maybe I'll get an email next week saying that Analogue wants to send me a review unit and we'll be able to talk about it. But again, I ordered it like everybody else, and that's just because I knew you guys wanted to see some comparisons and some reviews when it came out. But obviously I have MiSTer FPGA, I've got MiSTer Pi, I've got the multi-system too. I have more ways to play N64 and FPGA than any one person wants to do. Sure, it's all still Robert FPGA Zoom's process core, but it is one of those things. We've been playing N64 and FPGA for a while now, but putting it up against Analogue's actual core, using those cartridges and being able to run side-by-side tests compared to the MiSTer FPGA core will be a ton of fun. But unfortunately, you're just going to have to wait another like 6 weeks to actually be able to have that fun, and we'll have to wait into August to see if any other delays occur, because again, Analogue makes great products, but it's basically a meme at this point in time. They are known for never shipping anything on time. It took over a a year between me giving them money for the Analogue Pocket and actually arriving, even though others in that same pre-order group had already gotten there, so you're never quite sure when you're going to get something. Maybe I'll get my Analogue 3D the first day it ships. Maybe I'll have to wait 6 months until after they start shipping, because they've never said anything about shipping them all at once. They just said they're going to start shipping in August, so who knows, these things could be coming in batch 1, 2, 3, 4, 69, or 420. I have no idea. But that's the current situation. Unfortunately, Analogue 3D is delayed again, and if things change, I'll let you know. Short of that, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.